What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Leon Sylvester here. Today we're going to be talking about how you can prevent a relapse after quitting drinking. Not really touched this topic so much on the channel, but I think it's really important to understand so you don't make mistakes in the future, so you can be in the right frame of mind to reduce the possibility of a relapse. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that watches this channel isn't going to relapse. You know, it's a natural part of, I guess, coming over addiction. Relapses happen. But if we can kind of get a few strategies and a few tactics on how to reduce the possibility of one happening, it's going to be a winner for everybody. And guys, if you want my help to stop drinking without AA, without willpower, without rehab, and you want to do it in that positive state of mind, in that optimistic way, there's a short video below in the description. It's a 10-minute video where I explain the method, I show you some testimonials, I show you how the results have been for other people, and then you can decide if that's something that you might want to go ahead with. But for now, let's jump into the video. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do to prevent a relapse after quitting drinking is to make sure this. You need to make sure that you have reframed alcohol. Why do I say this? So if you want to really prevent a relapse, if you want to get that chance to relapsing down to zero or down to, the lowest possible percentage that's possible, this step is everything. So reframing the way that you view alcohol is the most important thing for every single person that stops drinking, regardless of whether they use willpower, rehab, AA, first principles thinking, it doesn't matter. This is the most important thing to get your head about. So how exactly do you reframe the way that you view alcohol? Well, you've got to study it. You've got to understand it. You've got to see it for what it is. Now, I know I say this a lot on the channel, but if you don't do it, I don't know how you're going to succeed on this journey. However, if you do it, the chances of success increase exponentially, right? And when I say you reframe the way that you view alcohol, so if you struggle to stop drinking, if you feel like you need to use willpower, if you really feel like it's hard and it's challenging, the problem isn't the drug. The problem is the way that you view the drug. It's your worldview. It's your paradigm. It's the way that you see alcohol. And what's happened is that the way that you view alcohol has been put into your head by many different factors. Now, I've spoken about this in depth in other videos before, so I'm going to link you to a video down below where I talk about the conditioning in a bit more detail. It's a 25-minute video, it's a long one, but I explain this in a lot more detail so I can help you start to reframe the way that you view alcohol. I can help you go through that process, and I'll link you to that video in the description below, or in fact, it might even show up on the screen now. But yeah, this is the very first thing that you've got to do. And once you're able to reframe the way that you view alcohol, you see it for what it is. You see it as a poison, something that you do not want to drink. Now, the next thing that you've got to do, once you've gone through that process, right, once you've reframed the way that you view alcohol, is you've got to mentally cut off the possibility of a relapse. So this means that you've got to get 100% certainty that what you are doing is 100% the right thing for you. No matter what, you have to mentally cut off any chance, any possibility of failure and of relapse. And what I mean by that is in your brain, the certainty in your decision to stick with the path that you are on of not drinking alcohol needs to be unequivocal. It needs to be so certain. And when you are able to do that, like that's what I've done. That's the secret, right? I have made this certain decision to not drink again. Now that I've done that, the chance of a relapse is zero because there's no way I'm going to back down on my decision to be a non-drinker. So I think that this is really important to do. But I think you have to go through step one first. You have to kind of reframe the way that you view alcohol. You have to take that first principles approach. And in fact, I'll link you to another video in the description where I talk about first principles thinking in more detail and how you can actually use that mental model to reframe alcohol. So yeah, there's quite a lot of videos to watch after this one because, it's going to be impossible for me to kind of explain this in a 15-minute video talking about how to relapse it. But I'm trying to give you an overview of what I would do to prevent that relapse. And then, you're going to have to go and you're going to have to watch the other videos and so on. But essentially what you do once you've done that is you cut off the possibility of a relapse in your head. You say, I am going to 100% stick with this path, right? Sounds easier said than done, but if you watch those other videos, you'll start to develop that worldview that I talk about. Now, the next thing that you would want to do is you would either want to find a mentor, a coach, or a supportive community. So essentially what you're doing is you're trying to find either somebody that's been where you are and has got where you want to go next, so like a mentor or a coach, or you're going to find a community, so a group of people that are going through the same thing. Now, I'm going to link you to the Sober Clear community in the description below. That's a Facebook group of other people that are going through the same transformation, other people that are stopping drinking. So I'll link that to you in the description. And then when it comes to a mentor or a coach, well, you're basically looking for someone that can support you, that's gone through what you want to go through. So, you can either hire a coach or you can find a mentor. You could find maybe a family member or somebody that you know that stopped drinking successfully and not relapsed. And you can ask them questions, you can have them to call up. You can have a coach as well, which is somebody that's probably got more of a system, more of a step-by-step way to help you prevent relapses. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time here because I think it's pretty obvious. Like if you want to find a mentor, you want to find a coach, there's plenty of people out there that offer quit drinking coaching. There are plenty of people out there that are going through transformations that you can reach out to. And obviously we've got the Sober Care community as well for you guys to join. But the final thing that I want to say is that if you do relapse, this is really important to remember. And it's that you can't connect the dots. This is actually something that my friend Cam told me. And I'm pretty sure Cam got this from a Steve Jobs presentation where he talks about connecting the dots in life. Now, for some people, they're going to stop drinking, right? They're going to have this one day where they decide to not drink and they're never going to drink again. For other people, it's going to be like this, right? And if you guys saw the video that I made about the stop drinking timeline, my journey was up and down all over the place until I did these things. Until I actually went through and reframed alcohol. I found a support community, I found mentors, I cut off all the mental possibility of a relapse. Once I did all those things, the chances of relapse almost diminish into nothing, right? But what you've got to realize is that if you do relapse, for some people, that's part of the process of actually going through this reframing. So what I want to say is that if you have relapsed, then you can't connect the dots looking forward. But what you will be able to do is connect the dots looking backwards. You'll be able to see that relapse may have been part of your understanding and getting to the root cause of the problem, of reframing alcohol and seeing it as that poison. Now guys, if you do want my help, again, there's a video down below where you can learn about the Sober Clear method, see if that's something that you might want to go ahead with. If you click the videos on the screen now, you can learn more about the stop drinking timeline and also some surprising truths of giving up drinking. Thanks a lot.